Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to J2 Comics and Cards. Thank you for stopping by the channel. Check out another video. So today's video, I want to talk about card shows and things you can do if you're planning to be a vendor to prepare to get ready for the card show. So card shows are they're definitely fun, especially if you're a hobbyist and you're looking to buy cards, looking to sell or trade cards. They're definitely fun. If you haven't been to any, I highly recommend that you check them out. If you're planning to be a vendor at any of the card shows, do some homework before you actually sign to be a vendor. There are some commitments that you'll need to make to be a vendor. So check out the card shows first, learn some tips and tricks, and then take the leap and become a vendor. So recently, I was a vendor at the Maryland Trade uh, Trading Card and Sports Expo about 2 weeks ago. Very fun time. Ravens player Card was there, and I got an opportunity to meet him. My son and I stopped by and had a mini helmet signed by him and took some photographs. He even stopped by our booth and to just kind of supporting the vendors at the show. Came by our table, said hello, stopped by a couple other vendor tables. So it was cool to have that interaction. So if you're planning to do a card show, definitely do your homework. So I'd like to take you into the show, take a look around, see what happened for us during the show, and then I'll come back and give you some tips and tricks if you're planning to be a vendor at the show. So let's take a look at the show. Hope you enjoyed some of the scenes from the card show. Some tips I would like to share if you're planning to be a vendor. Tip number one, I would say visit a couple of card shows first, get a sense of what goes on. It could be overwhelming if you're not prepared. I would say, get there early. If you're planning to be a vendor, you have to get there early so you can get things set up, figure out, the lay of the land and where you're going to do your placement. Maybe prep before you leave the house, a couple of days before. Start prepping what you're going to put in the show, and then figure out your inventory, right? So whether you're going to be selling all trading cards, that would be Pokemon, One Piece, and other types, Marvel, other types of trading cards, or if you're predominantly going to do sports cards. This trading card show it was trading cards and sports cards. So I took a little bit of everything to make sure I had what customers were looking for. So make sure you understand what type of card show it is, and make sure that you have something that customers might want to buy, because that at the end of the day, you're checking out the card show to either buy something or sell something. So keep those things in mind when you're planning to be a vendor. A couple of tools that I picked up from Amazon that I felt was helpful. Uh, first foremost was a price gun. So having a price gun on hand looks a lot professional, a lot more cleaner than just taking a post-it note or a little scrap sheet of paper and a Sharpie. Have a nice professional price gun. That way you can always change the price, increase the price, whatever you need to do, you can do that on site. So this came in handy, especially when, if I was dealing with a card that changed, the comps on the card changed, and I wanted to make the adjustment. I could quickly get that done with the card, the price gun, and it's really a really easy tool. You just change the price. This little dial here. You just it allows you to change the number or the price, and then you pull the trigger when you're ready to print, and it pops out at the top, and then your price is there, right? So whatever price, and you can quickly change out the price. So if you find that the price is too high or too low, you can make that change on the dime. You don't have to spend a lot of time finding something to write it down with. You could just use your price gun, change the price of what you're looking for, and attach it to the product. All right. So definitely get yourself a price gun. Another thing I would recommend is dividers. So when you're figuring out your system for what you're planning to sell, have a couple of dividers, right? So the dividers, what I like to do is, I had them based on team, and then I organize the team based on division and conference, right? So um, the benefit of that is knowing how having a system. The benefit is saving your customer time, saving you time, and saving everyone a headache and frustration of trying to understand where things are. And if a customer comes to the table, of course, greet them with a smile. What's up? And then maybe find out what their interests are. If they're looking for Pokemon or sports cards, is that's helping you to understand what they're looking for, because you can get to it quickly. Having a system in place before customers get to you helps you to save time. It helps them to decide if it's something that they want to buy from you, or if they just wasted too much time and they're going to go to another vendor. So I would say having a system, having your cards organized is a big plus, and it shows your professionalism when you're setting up as a card vendor. Now, let's say I've had a couple of customers come to the table, and they were specifically looking for Pokemon or a particular character in Pokemon. It just so happened that my neighbors, other vendors on both sides of me, one particular vendor had more Pokemon, and he had a lot, seemed to have a lot of inventory for all the different characters. I kindly invited them to go and check out his booth, because I knew that he had he had something that they would be interested in, where my selection of Pokemon wasn't as great as his, because I'm primarily do more sports than I do Pokemon. I did have some Pokemon inventory, but not to the same level or degree that he had. So I was okay, sending him business, because I knew at the end of the day the customer would appreciate, me not giving them the runaround, because I wouldn't want someone to give me the runaround, and so I would send them to that vendor, because I knew they had what they were looking for. And I would tell customers, hey, no pressure. Take a look at, show them something that they might be interested in if they were looking for a particular player or particular sport, because I knew it would save them time. At the end of the day, if the customer is happy, it's a great opportunity, a great chance that they might actually purchase something, or even come back later and stop by and see what you have. So I would say know your inventory, keep things organized is a big plus. It'll save you time, save your customers time. And another thing I found helpful was having a organized display. Now this is a bin that I used to keep things organized. So I had, in this particular bin, it was kind of a mixture of soccer, baseball, basketball, and a couple of other items. So I'm gonna buy another case similar to this. I'm gonna open it up and show it to you. I'm purchase another one, and I'm gonna organize this one a little better. I did have dividers. It didn't Customers didn't have a problem with looking at the cards because of the dividers, but I personally want to organize it a little better. So next time it's even it's faster for them to find things. So on the inside, I'll show you what it looks like. All right. So if you could take a look at that, you can see the dividers there. Now, this bin has a little everything. It has the one-touch cases. Here, the dividers I was telling you about, separating the cards. One-touch cases here, hard cases here, and dividers. And so this is a nice tool, a nice bin to have. I have this is more in the small to medium size, and then I also have a larger one that has mostly football. So since football is primarily the main sport that I have a lot of cards for, and it also has a handle so you can carry it. This is how you carry it. All right, and then it also has locks, the locking mechanism on the top. Right. So very good product. Um, this particular company, I've done some other videos on. I may come back and do a video on just this particular case. But as I was mentioning, this is very helpful for mid to low end cards. Higher end cards, I recommend putting them in a display case. Only mainly because you can control the uh, who's going in and out, what they're looking for, right? So at card shows, I'm not gonna mislead you, but things happen. There's been known theft, theft at different card shows. You really have to do your due diligence and make sure that you're keeping track of your inventory. You know what you have, so that you can prevent anything from being stolen from your table or being scammed in any type of way. So the great thing about the bins is they lock. If I want to lock something down, I can do that. All the big cards I put into a display case, and I have it where the locks, I'm the only one able to open it because the locks are on facing me instead of facing the customer. And if it's something the customer wants to see, they have to ask me first. Now, at what I have noticed though, I have noticed that some vendors will have binders and they have cards inside of the binders. I recommend not using the binders only because I've seen too many videos of vendors at card shows, and it's easy to be distracted. They work in pairs. Someone goes up to the binder, slips a card out the binder, and then they go along their way. Versus having it in a display case or having it in a hard like a hard case that you can actually lock. You can I do let them open it and go through looking at the different cards, but it's not as easy of a grab in a bin as it is just taking it out of a binder. Um, you know, that's the verdict is out on that. It's just a matter of watch your items, watch whatever product you're selling, pay attention to your table, don't get distracted. If you need to bring a video camera and video and record your table, at least you have footage if anything goes down at your table. So definitely, be your own security, keep your eyes open. Bring someone along with you. That's not a bad idea. If you have a family member or close friend, bring somebody with you that can help you manage the table. And actually, I would recommend that because as a vendor, you want to be able to take a bathroom break. You want to be able to walk around, grab something to eat, maybe enjoy the day, see what other vendors are selling. So invite someone to come along and hang out with you for the day, so they can kind of give you that break, right? So I hope this video has been helpful. Take a look at some of our other videos. We're going to jump in and talk about some other supplies to kind of help you keep your cards and your collection safe. But and then we'll also talk more. I'm gonna come back and talk a little bit more about card shows and how to be a great vendor and even as a hobby, it's like what you can do to make sure that you're not being scammed and you're getting the best value for your card and where you should even start. Going to some of these card shows can be fun or they can be stressful because they can be, it's wall to wall people a lot of times. So it's like having a plan before you go in so you don't get overwhelmed and frustrated. So hope this video has been helpful. Please like the video if it was helpful, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we would appreciate if you would subscribe to our channel. Peace.